My Best BVS Case by Dr. Sanjeev Sharma now.
Yeah, good afternoon. So, Dr. Sharma asked me to share the BRS case, which is BRS is available in India for over last 3 years, and we've been using it on regular basis. So why do we need a BRS in the era of best-in-class metallic DS? Because post-adsorption, it helps the artery to regain its natural state, leaving no foreign material in the artery, no chronic mechanical or inflammatory stress, and allows wash motion after the device resorption. So it acts just like a normal vessel. And it reduces the late adverse events, possible reduction rate in very late adverse events. And there is scope for future treatment, just like a Lima to LAD, post-adsorption of the LAD BRS. This is the concept of golden tube, which is only possible with the BRS. And this is how the angioplasty progressed over the years. Started with the POBA, then BMS, DES, second generation, third generation, with the BVS, which was out of favor because of increase in MACE. Now it's a second generation BRS, which is manufactured by the indigenous Mary Life Sciences in India, which is a thinner stud BRS of 100 micron. And this bridges the gap between the previous generation absorb and is as good as third generation DES. The stud thickness is 100 micron, which is less than 150 micron with the absorb and is comparable to the DES. Crossing profile is 1.2 millimeter, and there is a couplets of 3 rhodium opaque markers on each end for the precise placement. And size matrix is quite good, 275 to 4 millimeter, and the length is 16 to 40. And it can be kept in room temperature, whereas the absorb required the storage at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. This hybrid cell design closed at both ends and the open cell in between, and it is made of PLLA, which is polylactide, and optimal side branch access for the kissing ballooning. And these various components, and how it looks like once it gets resolved, 1 year, 3 years, and 2 years, 3 years. And this is the clinical program. MIRIS 1 was registry from India, single center, multi-center in Indian centers. More than 100 patients were there, and the 3 years follow-up shows the less than 2% MACE. And MIRIS 1 extends from global single-arm study, and which also showed promising result. And the PROMISE registry is going by Dr. Antonio Colombo's center. Almost 100 patients are there, and 3 years is still going on. And marathon RCT has been planned. It's in the planning phase, 2:1 multi-center, multinational study. And this you can clearly see the MACE is less than 2%, which is quite encouraging. And the scaffold thrombosis is 0%. And non-cardiac death is 0.93. There is 0 cardiac death. We need to encourage the following cases: young ACS with discrete lesion, selected STEMI patients, multivessel disease with a discrete lesion, a long diffuse LAD with a BRS in mid-distal and proximal DS, and instant stenosis and metal-free PCI. We should avoid in the tortuous, extreme tortuous cases, and also in the heavily calcified lesions, and need to avoid in the complex multivessel like left bifurcation or trifurcation, and also in the small vessel, less than 2.5. So my case is a 45 years old male who has been diabetic, hypertensive for the last 5 years, presented with the ACS and STMI, EF 40-45%, and LAD hypokinesia, and the 80 to 90% proximal LAD, and the long diffuse 70 to 80% mid-distal LAD. So a pretty simple case. And this is the OCT run, which revealed a fibrotic lesion in the mid-distal, very tight, and also in the proximal LAD. And it requires a optimal bed preparation, initially pre-dilated with a 2.5 milliliter balloon in the mid-distal and proximal segment. Subsequently, with a scoring balloon, 3 millimeter, 3 into 15 scoring balloon at 12 to 16 atmosphere, once bed is prepared. The first BRS 325 to 40 millimeter from mid-distal LAD and deployed slowly at 8 atmosphere, and optimized with a 3.5 balloon at 10 to 22 atmosphere. Subsequently, one more BRS, 3.5 to 24, overlapping with the previous BRS and deployed at 12 atmosphere, and optimized with a 3.5 NC balloon at overlapped segment and also in the mid-distal and proximal LAD at 22 atmosphere, high pressure deployment. And this is how it looks like post-deployment. And this is the OCT pullback, which shows well-opposed, well-expanded bricks throughout its length from mid to proximal LAD. So in a carefully selected patients, BRS provide excellent outcome, both the short and long term. We have good data available. And imaging is a must for planning and optimizing the BRS deployment. And compliance is also required, at least for the 1 year, to dual integrated. And large randomized trials are going on to prove its efficacy and safety in diverse patient population. Thank you very much.